Hey everybody, the Miser here with another video for the Growing Your Kingdom series. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a good method to obtain a lot of generals really quickly, many of which are crucial and I would even say essential to your success in growing your kingdom. So without further ado, let me just talk about why you might choose to do this. First, the Tavern is a really easy way to obtain generals. There are a lot of generals in there, some really poor qualities, some great, and you have to know the difference. You have to know how to unlock the ones that you want to get, and there are some tricks to doing this. One other reason that you might choose to do this method rather than just check often is, well, obviously, to do it all in one go is a lot less frustrating than to check multiple times every day, constantly, and yeah, it's a time saver. But also, what I've noticed with some of these things, like recruiting and also with patrolling, is after a certain amount of refreshes, the chance to get something of a greater quality increases substantially. I don't know if there's an exact number to that or if there's a formula that is used behind the scenes, but it does happen, and I'm sure that you will see it as I go through as well. So those are two good reasons on why you might choose to do this method. I have a couple of requirements, and I say soft requirements and hard requirements, and I'll talk about what that means. The hard requirements, you actually have to have the gold and the gems to be successful. So if you try to do this with only 50,000 gems and 50 gold, then you're not going to be successful because, one, you don't have enough gold to actually buy the generals, even if they do appear. But also, you need to consider that the more gems you have, the more refreshes you have, so the more the greater likelihood that what you want is actually going to appear. And it could take far fewer than my recommendation, but it could also take that much or more. So the more you have, the better. The soft requirements is Tavern of 29 and above. So the account that I'm using today, I had to actually wait for somebody to catch up to this point and graciously offer to allow me into their account so I can record this video. I actually had done it previously, but I left the sound on because I have my speakers muted anyway, and it was really distracting. So I'm doing it again. But anyway, the soft requirement of a Tavern of 29 plus, I would say it's a hard requirement. You should definitely have at least Tavern 29. I would recommend 30, but if you do it with less, you still have a chance that you can get some of the good generals. It's just your chance goes down with every level your Tavern goes down. So like at 26, hey, you can get some Bay Bars, you can get some Queen Jindiox, you can get some good stuff in there, but it will cost you a lot more gems to make the same number of generals appear as quite a bit more than if you had 29 or 30. So if you can hold off to 29 or 30, I would definitely recommend doing so because you're going to be a lot more efficient in getting these generals. My general recommendations are you should have 200 or 300,000 gems. That should be sufficient to get most of what you're looking for. And you definitely want as much gold as possible. Gold is not an issue in this game anymore, not since Vikings came into play, so you should have plenty of that. It's really just saving up the gems and getting ready for this. More gems you have, the better off you will be here. Okay, the last things to note I have on my screen here, my recommendations of Tavern Generals you should definitely look at getting. You absolutely want to get 5 Queen Jindiox and 5 Bay Bars. If you're at 6 marches, which is, later, you probably already have them anyway, so you don't really need to worry about that. But most people that are watching this video, you are probably looking to grow your kingdom because that's what the series is all about. So you're going to want as many Bay Bars and as many Queen Jindiox as you have marches. And so that means 5 of each would be great. And I have a note on there next to Babar saying that Cleopatra can fill. And what I mean by that is as Cleopatra comes up, if she appears and you don't have your 5 Babars yet, buy her. So if you already have 2 Babars and 3 Cleopatras show up, buy all 3. Then when you get the Babars, you can just sell your Cleopatra. It's better to have a couple Babars and a couple Cleopatras than only a couple Babars. And like I said, as you replace the Cleopatras, it'll be a little bit better, but Cleopatra is not horrible either. And I'll show you an example here. This person has already did an attempt at this, but they were keep 27 or so their tavern was lower than my recommendation, so they only got a few. But Babars gives you 25% double drop, and Cleopatra gives you 20. So the skill book, I believe, is 18. So Cleopatra is still better than the level 4 skill book. I could be wrong on the numbers, but she's still decent, and you don't have to waste gems or skill books on her. She's already got it there. So you just slap on a ring like this, and you're good to go. All right. So what I'm going to be looking for this account, they already have some of my recommendations. 1 Babar, 2 Babars, let me just count them quickly. Looks like 2 Babars and 3 Cleopatras. So I'm looking to get 3 Babars to replace these Cleopatras. Any Queen Jindiaks? Queen Jindiak, I don't see anything. Okay, that's unfortunate. Oh, a Rage King, that's interesting. Queen Jindiak. So I want to get 5 Queen Jindiaks, preferably. Hopefully they all come up. Trajan is something that I recommend you pick up 1 of, because he's an excellent ground general, and I think I saw it. Yep. So I see 1 here. Level 1, I guess it's never been used. But he's great, so definitely pick up 1 of him. What else? The Subsidy General. So you definitely want to pick up Subsidy Generals that are going to have debuffs, such as this. Reduces enemy mounted troops attack by 25%. Anything that says reduce is great. But obviously there are some that are better than others, and the primary ones I'm going to be looking for here are Andrew Jackson and Sixie, the Empress. Those are my 2 preferred subsidy generals to slap onto my subsidies. So I would recommend those, but there are a couple good options too, and I recommend you watch the subsidy video in the general series, I believe, that does talk about that in more detail. So let me get started. I don't think there's anything else that I necessarily need to cover before we get started. All I'm going to be doing here is clicking recruit, and if you do want to see, of course, any of the generals and what they do, you can always click on them in here. These 2 boxes here, the epic orange general and historic general, what those are is if I click on this, every time an orange general pops up, it'll give me a warning that prevents me from clicking without checking it first. So just to give you an idea, let me find one first. So I can spam click this, and as soon as I hit one of the legendary ones here, then it will give me this notification so I can check. So it's kind of like a stop check, so you don't screw up. These kind of generals here are just the nameless ones. Well, she has a name. Her name is Jenny, but she is not a historic general, so she doesn't have the nice skill that would come with a historic general. And a historic general would look like, I'll do the same thing here. Let's see, here we go. Tokugawa Ieyasu, however you say his name. So he has this special skill that boosts gold production, which is pretty awful, but there are other ones that are useful. And the ones you're looking for when they have a little crown. So the finicky thing here is this one will only stop at anything that is orange. It looks yellow to me, but orange. So whether it's a historic orange or just a plain orange, it will stop on any orange. This one will stop on anything that's historic. So that means it could be purple or it could be orange, anything with a crown. If you do both, it'll stop twice as much. So it'll stop for orange, crown or no crown, so historic or no historic, and it'll also stop for the purple historics. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do historic, and because those tend to pop up less often than these orange ones that are named but not historic, and I'm just going to spam click until I get something. So at this point I'm going to stop talking until I get to an actual general that I am interested in, or I might actually just speed up the whole video and make it so that this will take less time, because otherwise it'll probably be an hour long. All right, here we go.
Welcome to the
Okay, it looks like I didn't quite achieve my goal, and I did get quite a few of what I was trying to get. So let's see. We ended up with 1 bay bars, so missing a few. We did get a bunch of subordinate city generals, too many, so I'll probably trim it down. And we got 1, 2, I think 3 Queen Jindioks. Maybe it was only 2. 1, 2, 3. All right, so not horrible. Still need 2 more Queen Jindioks and 2 more bay bars, I think. But we're out of gems, so I guess that'll do, and you should be happy with that.